Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream yoga. Today is going to be stretching relax. I have some heaters going on, so it's actually going to be a warm stretching relax. Some of my students have taken that class before. You will need a wall, so make sure your mat is set up next to the wall. Don't worry, we're not going to be doing handstand. And if you have some, so if you have some blocks, a strap and a bolster or blanket, go ahead and grab those. If you don't worry. Nettie will show you some of the samples without the props, okay? So let's get started. You can start by sitting on a block or a blanket, and we'll center ourselves first. Hi from Cali, wow, hi. Okay, so let's start sitting on a block or a blanket. You can cross your shin bones, placing your feet directly below your knees in swastikasana. Then widen your seat on the block or the blanket or maybe the floor. And then rest your hands on your thighs. We start to focus on the breath, relaxing the feet, relaxing your knees, softening the belly, and then ground your seat to the block or the blanket. Lengthen your spine, lifting your chest, draw your shoulders back and down. Relax the neck, relax your eyebrows and your jaw. Finding the breath through your nose. Filling up the lungs all the way on the inhale. And then at the top of your breath, holding the inhale, holding your breath, and then slow exhales down. Remembering to keep your chest lifted when you do the exhale. Don't just suddenly drop your chest. Keep your chest lifted when you do the slow exhale. To your heart, placing your thumbs at the center of your sternum, opening your elbows wide, keeping that lift in your chest as you press the palms evenly together, fingers pointing straight up. We begin today's practice with 3 ohms together. Take a deep inhale. We give thanks to this practice, this time, and being able to do this in our apartments, and being thankful for live stream. able to continue our practice through these hard times. We also give thanks to the teachers who have paved the way before us. Namaste. Hey everyone, remove your block or your blanket, and we're going to start in child's pose. So you're going to place your feet together, open your knees wide, and then reach your arms forward. Keeping your hips heavy on your heels. So go slowly. If you're not open yet, you can slowly go into the pose. But we're going to keep the elbows off the floor. So the arms are straight like a downward facing dog. And you slowly reach forward. As we hold this pose, your chest will slowly come towards the floor, and maybe your chin. Allow that to happen non-aggressively. So just allowing your body to release on its own. If you want, you can have your forehead to the floor. Inhale slightly up, and then walk over to your right side. Then again, reach your arms forward, keeping the elbows off the floor. Notice the left side wants to come a little bit off your left heel. Drop your hips down, so you're evening the hips as you reach to the right side. Good. Walk back to center, and then we walk all the way to the left side now, keeping your arms straight and reaching to the left side. Then notice the right hip becoming lighter. You want to make the right hip heavier onto the heels, evening out your hips. And then feel that stretch along the right side. Inhale back to center, and then we slowly come back up. Okay, now this next pose, you're going to need the wall. Okay, so you're going to come all the way to the wall, hips at the wall, and then bring your legs up. Viparita Karani, supported by the wall. Okay, allow your legs to relax. You can have your arms next to your side, and take this moment to completely release your body. Bringing your feet together. Keeping your mind awake, releasing, relaxing your body. From here, you're going to bend your knees into Baddha Konasana. keeping the feet together. If you want, you can rest your hands on your thighs. Allow gravity to bring the heels closer to your hips. Straighten the legs again. Squeeze the knees straight. Then roll to your right side, sit up. Okay, now we're going to bring our feet to the wall. Okay, bring your feet all the way to the wall. Lie down, making sure the whole feet, your whole foot is touching the wall. Okay, then bring your right knee to your chest. So activating the left leg to push into the wall. You should feel your thigh muscles working on your left leg and really squeezing the leg straight. Relax your right foot and then draw your right knee up towards you. Good, let's switch sides. And really push the right foot into the wall and squeeze your right leg straight. Then your left leg, your left foot relaxes as you bring the knee up higher. So using the wall to really help you squeeze your straight leg. And keep your foot pointing up. Good. Okay, again, right side. Push the wall with your left foot. And switch. Pushing the wall with the right foot. And both knees to your chest. Relax your spine along the mat. Relax your shoulders. Maybe shake your head side to side. Good. Roll to your right, sit up. Okay, if you have a belt, you would take the belt and you would loop it so that it's like halfway, and then the tail end would match the loop, okay? If not, you can grab a small towel like Nettie's gonna do. We're gonna do the same thing where our feet are against the wall, pushing actively, and then you bring the right leg up, loop the belt around the foot or your small towel. I mean, some of you can grab the foot, but what I want you to try to do is push into the wall with your left foot, and then your right leg is going to push against the belt or the towel. So you have this active stretch, but it's not like a flexibility stretch. It's more hugging the legs inwards. So it's almost like an L shape. So you should feel your thighs firing up as you do this. It should not be relaxing, even though this class is called relaxing stretch. Okay, so you have to push the wall with the left foot, and your right foot is pushing into the belt. You actively roll your left thigh in, keeping that left foot pointing straight up, and then roll the right thigh in as well as you push into the belt. Now make your right leg longer as you push it into the belt or the towel. Okay, from here, you can start to walk your hands closer. If your legs are both straight, then you can pull the leg closer to you. If the legs are bent, then you work on the L shape. Maybe you can even grab the foot. Keeping your shoulders relaxed and the leg is straight in front of you, not to the side. Good, slowly release. Okay, other side, left leg. Again, remember to push that right foot into the wall. You might have to scoot forward towards the wall because the position might have changed. Okay, and again, we push the left foot into the belt, and then you start to roll both thigh muscles inwards so that you feel the action of the legs hugging in like an L shape. Now think about the left foot pushing into the belt or the strap or the towel, but it's like pushing in so that the leg becomes longer, and your right leg pushing into the wall also becomes longer. Hug everything in. Now if you want, you can slowly walk the belt, your hands up onto the belt, closer to your foot, or maybe grab the foot. But you only do this if both legs are straight. If both legs are not straight, then you just work on the L shape. Relaxing the shoulders down. Good, slowly release. Okay, now you're going to take the belt, and what I like to do is loop the belt like this. This is what Patrick has taught me over the years. Okay, so I have this small little loop, or you can again grab the towel. So we go into Supta Padangusthasana lateral. So you take the belt with your right hand, and then you bring the right leg over to the right side, using your right elbow to rest on the floor if you like. But again, pushing your left leg into the wall. And if you can't, if you're one of those flexible people, you can always grab your foot. The idea is to keep the right leg above your hip level. So this time, instead of like a 90-degree angle, we're looking at something a little bit higher, like a 75-degree angle. Oh, is that wrong? More than 90 degrees, sorry. Like 125. I don't know. My math is really bad. Okay, again, you want to push your foot into the belt or the towel so that you're really extending the leg. Good, back to center. Grab the belt, pull the leg in, and switch sides. Shift your body to push the right leg into the wall if you need to. Then we go over to the left side. Again, you can rest your left elbow on the floor. What we really want to focus on is both legs are straight and both legs are working. It's not just a relaxed pose. For those of you who are really flexible, you should be working the muscles. So working that right foot into the wall, and then working the left foot to push into the belt, as my husband here is in torture. Does this hurt?
No, because I have one leg on the heater.
Oh, he has one leg on the heater. Just make sure you move yourself if there's anything in your way. Extend your left leg, extend the right leg. Good, back to center. Pull the leg towards you one last time. And slowly release. Roll to your right, sit up. Okay, we're gonna go this time against the wall. You're gonna start first kind of like this in a squat, opening your knees wide. And what you want to do is go into the Baddha Konasana shape slowly so that the feet will stay close to your hips. Okay. So keeping your spine nice and straight, the feet up towards you as much as possible. If you're one of those people where the knees are really high up, you can also sit on a blanket or a block if you need to, okay? If you're flexible, I should have had the block near me. Okay, so there's a bunch of options. You can stay like what Medi's doing now, which is with no props. If you need to sit up on a block or a blanket, that's fine as well. If you have very open hips, you can take a block and put it between your feet. So you're widening the feet away from each other. And then you take another block and put it behind your back. Ooh. Okay, so we're trying to keep that concave back in this position. And we hold it. Is this hard for you? For some people, Baddha Konasana can be difficult because their back starts to round. So the wall is there to help you push your back so that it becomes straighter. So actually, it can be quite difficult for my tight guys. But this exercise can really help you straighten out the spine. If you have the block behind your back, bring your head towards the wall. And again, the block that's between your feet, you can actually make it even wider. If you're really flexible, you can make it wider. Fifteen more seconds. Good, slowly come out. Remove your props if you have them. You can extend your legs forward to shake them out. And then now we're going to come to our knees. Open your feet wide. Roll your calf muscles and we'll sit between the heels in Virasana. If you need to sit on a block or a blanket, go ahead and do that. Then interlace your fingers, palms forward and up. Okay, keeping your arms straight, squeeze them by your ears, and when you look up towards your hands, the palms are going straight up to the ceiling. Not in front of your face, not behind your face, keeping them going straight up. Touch all your fingers together, draw your belly in. And then we're going to twist over to the right side. So you're twisting from the back of the left rib, keeping those knees together, making sure that left knee doesn't go back. Squeeze the arms by your ears. Back to center, release the arms, interlace the other fingers, palms forward and up. Inhale, lengthen. Squeezing the arms by your ears. Remember, this is bent and this is straight, so you really want to squeeze the arms straight and push the palms up towards the ceiling. And we twist over to the left, twisting from the back of your right rib, keeping the arms by your ears. For us, we have this mirror here, so it's very helpful to see when the body is out of alignment. If you don't have a mirror, that's fine. Really focus on yourself and, question yourself. Are your arms straight? Are you going to, are you relaxing in the pose, or are you actually working? Good, inhale back to center, release the arms. Reach your arms up again, inhale. Turn your right palm out, reach your arm behind you. Gomukhasana arms. So you walk that right arm all the way up as high as you can. if you need to use a small towel or the strap to help you, to clasp the hands. Relax your neck and keep the left elbow going straight up to the ceiling. Good. Release the arms. Inhale, come back up. Left arm out and go behind. Clasp the fingers. Make sure your neck is able to move. And then you reach that right elbow up to the ceiling. Good. Release your arms. Inhale, come up again. This time both palms turn out, and then we do reverse prayer. So walking the hands up as high as you can. Trying to keep the palms together, so the whole palm together. And then drawing the elbows back. When you draw the elbows back, you actually bring the palms together more. Slowly release the arms. Shake out the arms. You can either do downward facing dog or you can just straighten your legs in Dandasana. Squeezing your knees straight. The faster you squeeze them, the easier it is to release the knees after Virasana. Okay. Stand up. We're going to go to the wall again. So we have a lot of stuff with the wall today. Option to take the block between your thighs. If you don't have a block, that's okay. Just stand against the wall, making your body as straight as you can. Then we interlace the fingers, palms go forward and up. Your goal is to try to touch as much of your body to the wall as you can. So the hardest thing for some people is to get the fingers to touch the wall. We want the fingers, the pinkies, to touch the wall. And if you have a block, you squeeze the thighs and roll them back, but then you draw the tailbone forward. So both the inner and the outer thighs are working at the same time. Really squeeze the arms straight. Squeeze the arms straight. Good, release the arms. We interlace the other fingers, palms forward and up. Again, we want to squeeze the arms completely straight and touch the pinkies to the wall. And can you draw your belly in so that the lower back is closer to the wall? So we want the back to be as straight as possible. Touch all your fingers and palms go straight up. Now can you make yourself a little bit longer by pushing the palms up towards the ceiling? Notice if your chest is collapsing forward. We don't want that. We want to draw the belly in and make your side body longer. Good. Slowly release. Release the block. Okay, stand facing the wall now, and you're going to bring your feet hip-width distance apart. Putting your hands on the wall, slowly step back. So we want the hips and the feet to be over each other. You don't want the hips to go too far back or too far forward, okay? Keeping the leg completely vertical. Reach your arms forward, Ardha Uttanasana. So when you push into the wall, you should feel the concave in your lower back. Your head should not be dropping forward. You want to keep the arms between the ears, but actively pushing into the wall and draw your belly in. Then to feel the hips widening, you draw the inner heels towards the outer heels. You almost feel like you're sticking your butt out. Don't allow your chest to collapse down to the floor. You want to keep your torso as straight as you can. Good, slowly come back up. Now we place our hands to the wall. You can either come to your fingertips or your hands are straight like this. And then you bring your chest towards the mirror. Now if that's easy for you, you want more of a stretch, you start to walk your feet back. But the idea also is to keep your feet and your hips in one line. You don't want to be too far back or too far forward, okay? So just go at your own pace. If you want to go further, then you bring the feet back. And you need to stick your butt out. Walk forward a little bit. So it's like a puppy dog stretch, but against the wall instead of on the floor. Good, inhale, come back up. And release. Okay, coming into standing poses. So we're gonna start with Trikonasana. Take a block. Place your left foot against the mirror, against the wall, and then we want to step wide. Your right foot should be pointing straight forward. Come into a warrior two first, and make sure your knee is right over your heel, making sure that your stance isn't too short. If your stance is too short, this will happen. Your knee will go past your foot. We want your foot to be right underneath the knee in warrior two. Then you straighten your knee. Okay, keeping your right foot pointing straight forward, your knee also pointing straight forward. Grab your block, place it outside of your right foot underneath your shoulder. Okay, and then reach your left arm up. Trikonasana, squeezing both legs straight and thinking about elongating the right side, which is closer to your right leg. The block will help you lengthen the right side more. Now squeeze your legs straight, pushing that back foot into the wall. So that's like the outer edge of your left foot. Then the inner edge of the right foot, the front foot, pushes into the floor. And squeeze both legs straight. Arms on top of each other, draw the right shoulder forward and turn your chest. Good, inhale, come back up. And release, switch sides. So starting with the right foot at the wall, take a big step forward. Measure yourself in your Vajrasana 2, Warrior 2, making sure that knee is in line with your heel. Then squeeze the leg straight, place your block. Pushing the outer edge of your right foot into the wall, and the inner edge of your left foot pushes into the floor, grounds into the floor. Push the left hand into the block and lengthen the left side. Then we draw the tailbone into the body. Start to draw the left shoulder forward and up and turn your chest. Reach your right arm up. other block. So hopefully you have 2 blocks. You place the blocks in the tall position. And then we're going to step the left leg back. Again, the left heel is at the wall. Pointing the feet forward. So the left foot is also pointing forward. Draw the right hip back and left hip forward. Okay, some of you will just stay here. If you have no blocks, you might be on your fingertips like this. Okay, working on keeping the length in your spine, and then finding that concave lower back. So you should feel like you're kind of like sticking your butt out. If you have the blocks, you can also bring it lower and start to walk forward. But the idea is to keep the concave of the lower back. Squeeze both legs straight. So only go as low as you can keep that curve in the lower back. Bring the blocks back up. And then you step forward. Let's switch sides. Bring the right leg back. Again, pointing the feet forward. Draw that left hip back now, and the right hip goes forward. Extend your spine, push into the blocks, and find the concave in the lower back. Then you can reach the blocks down, you can reach forward if you like. You might be on your fingertips. Inhale back up. Use the blocks to help you. Okay, stand up. And then again, come to the blocks. Reach the left leg back. This time you don't need to touch the foot to the wall. We're coming into a low Anjaneyasana, so you might need to scoot the right foot forward a little bit. Using the blocks to help you keep your spine straight. If you have no blocks, you can place your hands on your hips. Draw that left hip forward, and then bend your right knee deeply. As your hips start to open, you can start to walk the blocks back if you want, and then work on your back bend, lifting your chest up. But of course not collapsing the neck, so don't just release the neck like that. Keep the neck long, and you'll more likely just be looking up rather than looking back. Walk the blocks back, and then Tadasana, and then we change sides. Okay, so stepping the right leg back into low Anjaneyasana. Bring your left knee past your foot this time. We want to keep the knee past the foot. So this should be closer together. The back of the calf muscle and the back of the thigh should be closer together. Again, drawing that right hip forward, bending your left knee as deeply as you can. Feel your groins opening up. When you feel comfortable, you can maybe walk the blocks back and go for your small back bend. You can still do this with your hands on your hips. You might need to pad your knee. You have your padding close to the wall, and basically you're going to take your left knee and put it all the way against the wall. Okay, keeping the left foot going straight up, then the right leg comes forward. So we're in a low Anjaneyasana shape with the back knee bent. Then you slowly walk back until maybe you can become straight. Okay, it's a thigh stretch. Maybe even touching your back to the wall. Okay, but that depends on your flexibility with your thighs. It's nice when you have a mirror. I know most of you don't have the mirror wall, but the mirror is kind of sticky, so this foot won't easily slide. And we want to keep that foot pointing straight up. Okay, from here, you're going to bend your right knee deeply, keeping that back knee bent. Ooh, feels good.
Not for everybody.
It's a painful but good feeling. Okay, it's very difficult to keep that foot going straight up, but that's what we're working on. Do you feel it? Okay, come back up, and we'll switch sides. So bringing the right knee up, close to the wall. It helps to have the blocks actually in this pose, because sometimes it's difficult to balance. So some of you might be able to lean your back against the wall. Relax your right thigh. Good, and we slowly walk forward, bend the left knee. Low Anjaneyasana with the back knee bent. This is also possible to do like this, but it's a lot harder with your hand on your knee. Good, slowly put that up. Okay, Prasarita Padottanasana. So if you have a wall, you can do this at the wall. If it's too slippery, maybe you don't need to use the wall. But the wall is good because it will keep your legs in the right alignment with your hips your hips and your feet at the same, in the same line. Okay, so this one we want the concave back. So whether you need the blocks, or you need to go even higher, or you can go on the floor, keeping the fingertips underneath the shoulders and lengthening your spine. So we find that concave in the lower back. Sure, if you want to fold over, you can fold over. Be careful though, because with the wall, you might roll forward. So make sure you go slowly. Most of the forward folds that we're doing today are with the concave lower back, working on lengthening the spine. Okay, slowly come down. Okay, we're going to go into Supta Virasana. We have different variations. Many will do it with very little props. Okay, Supta Virasana. This one, lying all the way down. Okay. So for some of you, if you have the props, it's a nice thing to have for this pose, especially if you're doing it more restorative. I have the bolster, and then I'm going to use my blanket. And I'll use the other blanket as a pillow. So we'll time this. Okay. I also like to lift up the bolster a little bit have a bigger bolster, it might be nicer. Okay? From here, you place your hips close to the bolster. You're in Virasana, heels next to your hips. If you want, you can take a belt around the thighs to keep the knees together, but no need to make it very tight. And then you slowly go back, maybe adjust your pillow, reach your arms up and over, grab your elbows. Almost hear some of you snoring. Is that you? I will change the arms, so reach your arms over your head and then grab the other elbow. So a lot of times for these restorative poses, it's nice to have the props. I know not a lot of you have the props. If you're interested in buying props, I just actually ordered some props at the Iyengar studio, which is in Shanghai. And you can actually order them online, and you can either get them delivered or you can go pick them up. But it's definitely a nice thing to have these type of props for a restorative practice. Okay, slowly come up. Remove your props if you have them. And then we'll come into Upavishta. So that means your legs go wide, sitting on one end of the mat. Heels at the other end, so we don't want to go too wide. For this one, if you have blocks, then I want you to take the blocks underneath your feet. If you don't have blocks, just sit in the normal pose. You can even sit on the blanket if you need to. From there, we're going to slowly reach forward, again keeping the concave in the lower back, keeping your feet pointing straight up. And then we grab the toes, or sometimes if you need like a belt on each side or a small towel, you can also do that. If you have no props, just take your hands on your shins if you need to, otherwise grab your toes. Okay, working on squeezing the back of your thighs down towards the floor, and then lengthening your spine forward, finding that concave in your lower back. Squeeze the thighs. So this should not be easy. I don't want you to go all the way to the floor, because I want you to find the concave in the lower back and to use your thigh muscles. So those of you who are really bendy, you should actually feel your thigh muscles working, and you should not be touching the floor. Okay, just hovering over the floor maybe. Good, squeezing the legs, inhale, come up. And exhale, release. If you have blocks, remove the blocks. Keeping Upavishta. Okay, reach your arms up. We'll turn to the right leg. Reach past the foot, and then you grab the foot, or you can grab the shin, or again, if you need the towel or the belt to grab, then go ahead. We're gonna do a light twist over to the right, and again, finding that concave in the lower back. So I don't know if you guys can see my concave. Can you see the concave? So it's almost like an upward facing dog, and we're twisting. We're not folding over today. We're just twisting and finding the concave in the lower back. That's our thing, concave. Squeeze your legs straight. Good, inhale back to center. Turn to your left leg. And we do the same thing, making sure that that foot does not roll sure that this foot doesn't roll in, okay? And again, finding that upward dog motion of the back, spine. And if you're like Mehdi, he's sitting on blocks right now to lift his hips up higher. If you're one of those people who are a little bit tighter in these poses, you can go ahead and sit on the blocks, okay? Or a blanket if you have one. Good, inhale back to center. And release, bring your knees to your chest, just for a second. And then bring your feet to the front. And then the left leg goes back, keeping the right leg straight in Janu Shirshasana. And again, in this pose, we're looking for concave back. So when you reach forward, if you're grabbing your foot, that's fine. But we're lifting our chest, and I want you to look up towards the ceiling. Some of you, if you need the belt, you have the belt, and you're looking up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the right side of your body. And squeeze your right leg as you squeeze that left thigh down to the floor. Good, inhale back up. Exhale, release. Switch sides. You can widen your seat first. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold. Keeping your back like upward facing dog, looking up. Squeeze your left leg straight and push the right thigh down towards the floor. Good, inhale, come back up. Exhale, release. Release the legs. Shake them out. Okay, next pose. If you have a blanket, use the blanket. If you don't, you can use the block. Okay, so you're going to start with the blanket or the block on your right side. And I'm going to face this way so you guys can see me, but Mehdi will do facing you guys. Okay, so the block or the blanket on the right side. And then you're going to sit your right hip onto the your right hip onto the block or the blanket. Then the left foot goes over the right foot. Then you reach your right arm and catch above the left elbow. Right arm catches above the left elbow. And then you swing the left arm around, attempting to grab the right thigh for the twist, or Vajrasana. Once you have the twist, and you begin to straighten your left arm straighter, and you turn the head over to the left shoulder. Good, back to center, please. And then we switch sides, so you bring the prop to the left side. And this can be done without having a prop, it's just harder to keep yourself sitting. Okay, so you sit the left side, right foot goes over the left foot. Then you take the left arm and grab above the right elbow. Swing the right arm around. And the right arm will go straighter as you turn your chest, open the left shoulder. Once you've gone to your maximum, you turn the head to the right, over the right shoulder. Good, back to center, and release. Release your legs forward. Paschimottanasana. So you can take your version if you have the belt or small towel around your feet. You can also grab your feet. Or if you want to go further into the pose, you can take your block and put it in front of your feet. Okay? I'm going to do the simple version with the belt, finding the concave spine. Especially for you tight people, your knees are bent, your upper back is rounded, you really need to work on squeezing your legs straighter and then finding the concave in your lower back. So you don't need to go over so much. Just work on lengthening the spine and lifting the chest. Maybe even sit up on a prop if you need to. Okay? At this stage, we would normally go into Shavasana. Let's just take like a 1 to 2 minute Shavasana since we have time. Opening your legs wide as a mat, turning your palms straight up. Close your eyes. Release your body completely. Keeping your mind awake. Relaxing your whole body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And bring your feet together. Reach your arms over your head. Stretch your body. And release. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. Take a moment to rest your head on your right arm. When you're ready, you can sit up. Okay, thank you guys for accompanying me in this class. I hope you had a good time with me today. Oops. Tomorrow I'll be teaching another class called Hatha Circuit. It's a class that my husband and I kind of created together. So I'll have more information on that later today. I might go on live again just to explain how we came up with this new type of yoga. But thank you so much for watching. This video will continue to be on my live feed for 24 hours. And then I'll also probably take the video and post it on my YouTube. So you can look out for it then if you aren't able to do it within the next 24 hours. Okay? But thank you so much for joining the class and hope to see you again. Bye.
That's it.